same as the first lockdown, that's for sure. But hey, good to see you all. So, welcome to Saturday morning practice. Let's begin. Just crossing the ankles, placing the hands over the knees with a nice long spine. So, throughout all or most of the movement in yoga, we're focusing on lengthening the spine. Just bringing awareness to all different parts of your body and your breath, and taming your mind to the present moment, your breath, your body, and the moment. So beginning by closing your eyes, taking a big full breath in, taking a long exhale once more out through your nose, and just noticing how you feel. Breathing in again, bring your arms all the way up above your head. Bring your palms together, draw your hands down to your heart. We begin our practice, inviting you to set any intentions for your practice today. Breathe in, reach your arms all the way back up. Exhale, take a twist to the right hand side. Inhale, lengthen up through your spine. Exhale, twist through your upper spine. At the end of the exhale, take a little pause. And then inhale, swoop both arms up to the sky. Good. Exhale, bring your hands to the left hand side. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, take a big twist. And at the end of your exhale, once more, take a little pause. And then inhale, reach both arms up. Interlace your fingers in front of your heart. Push those palms away. Draw both palms up to the sky and just draw your shoulders back as far as they'll go while stretching up as high as you can. Release that right hand down to the earth. Keep your left sit bone rooted and reach to the left side. Good. Reach all the way up and over to your left side. Left hand, wrist and elbow potentially finding the ground. Right arm drawing over the ear. Right sit bone rooting. Inhale, reach all the way up and come onto the hands and the knees. Find your 4-point base and begin to circle, warming up the wrists, fingers spread wide. 3 circles in one direction and 3 circles in the opposite direction. Good. Coming to a neutral spine, extend your right leg out behind you. Now, kick through the heel. When we tuck the toes into the shin, we activate the muscles in the leg. We send the left arm forward too, lengthen through your spine. The right hand directly underneath the right shoulder. And then exhale, draw elbow and knee in towards the upper torso, knee to the nose. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, drawing in. One more. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Bring your left hand down to the earth. Slide your left foot behind you. Glide your right arm up to the sky. Reach up. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your right arm over your ear. Lift the right leg off the ground. A little higher. And then draw your elbow to your knee. Right elbow to right knee and away. Elbow to knee and away. One more. Elbow to knee and away. If you can, bring your right hand to your right foot, bending the right knee, and lift that right knee up high. A little back bend happens too. We're going to transition to heart to earth pose, carefully bringing the right knee down to the earth, sliding your right shoulder underneath the left. Left arm drawing up to the sky and wrapping around the back. Take a big full breath, drawing your left shoulder back. Take a long exhale, placing your left hand down to the earth, sliding, gliding your right shoulder back, and meet me back in a 4-point base. Sink your sit bones down to your heels, lengthen your arms, Place your wrists and elbows onto the earth. Look forward in between those hands which are shoulder width apart. Take a cat roll, gliding your chest through the wrists, elbows lifting, rising up to baby cobra. Pubic bone stays onto the ground. Then press the ground away. Draw back to a 4-point base. Cross your ankles over. Draw your shoulders forwards. Engage your belly. And take 3 tricep dips. Lowering the chest down and rising back up. Good. Lowering down as low as you can. Pressing up. Good. 1 more. All the way down. And press up. Good. Unhook your ankles. Come back to a 4-point base. Extend your left leg out behind you. Extend your right arm in front. Tuck those left toes. Exhale. Draw your knee and elbow in. The navel draws upwards, engaging. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pulse. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pulse. Inhale, reach and hold. Bring your right hand down to the earth. Stack your left hip over the right. Glide your left arm up to the sky. Reach. Bring your left arm over the ear. Lift that left leg up and away. Draw knee to elbow and stretch away. Right hand stays directly under the shoulder and the right arm is long. Pulse again and reach away. 1 more. And away. Supported side plank. Bring your left knee down to the earth. Slide your left shoulder underneath the right, heart to earth pose. Bring your right arm up to the sky and wrap around the back. Find the left thigh. Draw your right shoulder back. Perhaps the gaze draws upwards too. A big deep breath. And exhale. Find the ground with your right hand. Swoop your left shoulder back under and sink your sit bones down to your heels, making your way back down to child's pose. Lengthen your spine, lengthen your neck. Bring your wrists and elbows onto the earth. Look forward in between your hands. Gliding through once more into a low cobra, baby cobra. Inhale. Draw that neck away from the shoulders, shoulders drawing back. A gentle constriction of the lower spine. Press the ground away. Draw back through to your 4-point base. Hook those ankles over. Draw those shoulders forwards. 6 tricep dips. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, rising up. That's 6. And 5. 4. Being the strongest version of you that you can be. 3. And also the most flexible. 2. And building a balance between the 2 of them. Bring yourself back to child's pose. Walking your hands, body over to the right hand side. Take a nice big deep stretch. Good. Walk your hands when you're ready over to the left hand side. Take a nice big deep stretch. And then walk your hands back to the center of the mat. And then one last time, one more cat roll. Look forward in between the hands. Hips stay high, chest draws low, elbows lift. We come through one smooth roll. Hips find the ground, press the ground away, draw back. And this time 10 tricep dips. So wrap those triceps, an internal rotation of the shoulders to begin with. Shoulders draw forwards and then lower the body down. And that's 10, 9, stay with me, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, keep going, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Sink all the way back to a kneeling pose and bring your hands onto your lap. We're going to squeeze those hands into fists as if you're squeezing 2 lemons. Squeeze them as hard as you can and then chuck those lemons away. Give the wrist a shake. I'm crossing over from kids yoga to adults yoga, so apologies. Bring your hands forward. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees off the ground. We're going to make our way to our first downward facing dog. Just walking it through, stretching your hamstrings, drawing one heel down and then the other. Lifting both heels perhaps together and then lowering both heels down. Lifting both heels together, send your heels over to your right hand side, toes lifting, hips following. And then lifting both heels off the ground together, bringing your heels over to the left side, toes lifting, hips following. Inhale, both heels draw off the ground. Exhale, lower them down, press that ground away. Find your downward facing dog. If you're stretching your hamstrings, tuck your tailbone in a little bit. Focus on length in the back. If your hamstrings are already long, then you can press the chest down and get a little dip into the back too. Drop the head, look down in between the thighs or down towards your belly button if you can. Draw your left foot towards your right and take that right leg up to the sky. Take 3 deep breaths here, looking to the left big toe, lifting your right leg as high as you can without opening the hip too much. And after your 3 breaths, send your right heel towards your hip. Elevate your left heel. We're going slowly. Draw your right knee in towards the chest and mindfully. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. Step your right foot through in between the hands. Give it a helping hand with the right hand if it needs that. Bring your left knee down to the earth. Inhale to Anjaneyasana. Reach all the way up. Bring your palms together. Draw your hands down to your hearts. Good. Bring both hands back up. Inhale back to Anjaneyasana. Let's take a little twist. Bring the chest to the left side. Bring your left hand to the outer edge of your right knee. The back foot draws into the right hand. We look over the right shoulder. Breathe. And release. Good. Bring both hands either side of the front foot. Tuck your back toes under. Lift your back foot off the ground, making an L shape with the legs. Bring your arms, both arms behind you. Find a little balance, lifting the heart, extending through the back. Swoop your arms forwards, opposite the shoulders. Warrior 3, nice and strong. Swoop your arms all the way back behind. Perhaps take a dancer's pose. If you've got that balance, send the left foot into the left hand and reach the right arm forward. Extend, lift, balance and focus. And then send your left foot to meet the right onto the mat. Well done. Inhale, swoop both arms up to the sky. Exhale, glide your arms either side of the body with a flat back swoop down. Inhale, lift up halfway. A big deep breath with each movement. Exhale, fold. Taking a forward fold of your choice. Take a big deep breath. Take a long exhale. Bring both hands down to the mat. Stepping back with your right foot. Step straight back with your left foot. Good. Bring your knees, the tops of the feet, the chin and chest down to the earth. Inhale, gliding up to baby cobra. Exhale, press the ground away, tuck your toes under, lift your knees off the ground, meet me in downward facing dog. Draw your right foot towards your left, swoop your left leg up to the sky. Inhale, hold it there for 3 breaths. Exhale, bringing your right heel down towards your mat. Left leg a little bit higher, tucking the left toes into the shin. Squeeze the tummy, press through the shoulders, press the ground away, fingers are spread wide. Draw your left heel towards your left hip, elevate your right heel. Draw your left knee in towards your chest, the shoulders drawing over your wrists. Step your left foot through in between the hands. Make sure you've got a nice wide stance here before you bring your back knee down to the earth. So you've got a nice deep stretch. Inhale, reach both arms all the way up. So we're stretching the hips too. Bring your palms together. Draw your hands down to your heart. Inhale, take both arms back up and twist to the left hand side, right hand finding the edge of your left knee. And perhaps bring your back foot to the left hand, finding your balance and stretching the right quad. Drawing that heel in towards your hip. Really slowly bring both hands down to the top of your mat. Tuck your back toes under. We're going to take off, lifting that right leg off the ground. Carefully bring your hands off the ground. Swoop them behind you, either side of your hips, and square those hips. Swoop both arms forward carefully to find warrior 3. And then drawing them all the way back, keeping your gaze fixed, keeping your focus, your concentration going. Bringing the left arm forward, reach for the back foot with the right hand. And finding your dancer's pose, lift through the chest. Push that right heel away, grow a little taller if you can. And then step your right foot to meet the left to Tadasana. Toes spread wide, feet grounded, grow nice and tall. Swoop your arms all the way up. Exhale, glide your arms either side of the body, hinging at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, a deeper forward fold this time. A big breath. And long exhale. Bring your hands down to the earth, step back with your left foot, a nice big deep stance. Take the right foot back, 2 shoulders over the wrists. Draw your knees, tops of the feet, your chin and chest down to the earth. Inhale, glide through to baby cobra. Exhale, press the ground away, tuck your toes under, lift your knees off the ground. Draw back to downward facing dog. Inhale, take both heels off the ground. Exhale, lower both heels down. Inhale, lift both heels off the ground. Exhale, lower both heels down, pressing the ground away. Let's take a rolling wave. Lift your heels off the ground, look towards your belly button. Navel draws up as the shoulders roll forwards. Navel draws down, shoulders draw back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, pressing away to downward facing dog. Step your left foot towards your right. Swoop your right leg up to the sky. Stack your right hip over the left. Press down through your right armpit. Look down to your left big toe. Lift that right knee up as high as it will go. Stacking your right hip over the left. Well done. Step your right foot to the outer edge of your right hand. And come down onto the wrists if you can, or use a prop underneath the wrists. Look down towards your back big toe, and you don't have to be still here. You can rock and roll into this lizard pose a little bit, easing into the right hip joints. Always listening to your body. Perhaps you could take a bind here if you wanted to, bringing the right hand underneath the right knee, spin and ground the back foot, bring the left arm behind and take a little bind. Releasing your bind, bring both hands back to the inside of the right foot, turn that right toe out, right foot out. Step your left foot to the outer edge of your left hand. Open the knees, bring your hands to your heart, grow nice and tall. Bring your fingertips down to the earth. We're going to send those hips up to the sky, lengthening both legs. Walking hands over to the right hand side, taking a little fold into the right leg. Walking both hands over to the left hand side, a little fold into the left leg. And taking both hands to the top of your mat, center of your feet. Heel toe the feet to hip width apart. Soften your knees, roll up. Inhale, rise up. Bring both arms up to the sky. Take hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Banana your body to the right side and perhaps swoop your left foot behind the right. Good. Reaching back up, step your left foot back to meet the right. Take hold of the right wrist. Banana your body to the left side. Soften your knee and swoop your right foot behind the left. Good. Bring both hands back up to the sky. Inhale, reach up. Perhaps take a little back bend. And then exhale, glide the body down. Take hold of your big toes this time if you can. Then inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend the elbows, bring belly and chest down towards the legs. A deep forward fold, dropping the head. Breathing deep. And exhaling fully. Bring both hands down to the earth. Step back with your right foot. Bring your right knee down to the earth and sink back through the hips, lengthening your left leg. Walk your hands back to begin with. Tuck those left toes in. And then lengthen your spine, breathing in, walking the hands forward. Exhale, bringing wrists down towards the earth, sinking in. Another big deep breath as you feel this huge lengthening into the left hamstring and calf. Making sure your exhale is longer than your inhale, because quite often when we are stiff or not feeling flexible, it's due to the nervous system. So relax your nervous system with your breath. Coming back forward now. Bring your hands to the inside of your left foot. Heel toe your left foot out to the edge of your mat. Come down once more onto your forearms if that's accessible. And tuck under your back toes. Obviously, if you can't get to the forearms, just be onto the palms of your hands. We're going to step that left foot all the way back. So we're in a forearm plank and push into the heels. And then just take a little rocking motion backwards and forwards. And then hold, stop, make sure the shoulders are over the elbows. Engage your arms. Dip your right hips down to the earth and then back up. Dip your left hips down to the earth and back up. Again, right hips down to the edge of your mat and back up. Left hips down, obliques working. Once more, right hips to the edge and back. Left hips to the edge and back. We're going to creep those feet up towards the elbows as if we're taking a downward facing dog, but we're in dolphin, looking down in between the ankles. Head dropped. Pushing into your heels, lengthen your spine. Lift your heels off the ground. Send your nose in front of the hands down to the ground. And then back, strong. And again, lifting heels, sending the nose down to the top of your mat. And back. 2 more. Nose dipping and drawing back. Last one. And back. Well done. Okay, from here, coming into a full plank, hands find the ground. Draw your shoulders forward, lower your body down, all the way down to the ground. Bring your hands underneath your chin. Take a big full inhale. Take a long exhale. Let's fly. Let's go to that beautiful place that we were imagining. I can't remember where it was, Julian, but somewhere, wherever you want to go, let's fly. Bring the hands all the way, swoop them back to the hips, lift your chest off the ground, create strength in your lumbar spine. Take off as you lift your feet off the ground, your quads too, and create the ability to fly. And you can take yourself wherever you want to go in your mind, and you can create the feeling that would give you being wherever you want to be in the world through the power of your imagination. Bring your arms forward, cactusing the arms. Lift up a little higher if you can. Good, sweep your arms all the way forward. And take 3 more breaths if you can for 3, 2, nice strong backs, 1. If it's right for you, transition with me to bow pose, sending the ankles, tops of the ankles into the feet and pulling open that chest. Lift up a little higher if you can, squeezing the thighs towards each other. I find it quite hard to speak in this pose. And lower down. Bring your hands under the shoulders, press the ground away. We're going to sink back into a child's pose and to take a Tibetan sun salutation. Take a breath. And now swoop your hands up towards your knees. Rising up slowly as if to salute the morning sun on our beautiful beach. Reach the arms up to the sky. Bring your palms together, draw your hands down to your hearts. Glide both hands forward, keep your hips high. Happy puppy pose, stretching into the shoulders. Take a moment here, bearing down with the chest, finding a little back bend perhaps, drawing back through the hips. Noticing if you're practicing with me a lot lately, if some of the poses start to become a little bit more enjoyable, or perhaps you can go a little deeper into them with this regular practice, you really notice a difference. You might not ache so much afterwards if you're practicing regularly. You begin to not to ache at all afterwards. Glide your hands underneath your shoulders, take your tailbone under, your navel drawing upwards. And then inhale, dropping your belly, tailbone draws out. We find cat pose, cow pose even. Exhaling to cat pose, looking towards the navel. Inhale, dropping your belly, tailbone drawing out. Exhaling to your cat pose. Once more, inhale, dropping your belly. Exhaling to cat pose. Keep it there, keep hollowing through the back, navel drawing upwards. Engage your shoulders, engage your core, lift your knees off the ground to tiger pose, legs straight onto the tops of the feet, but we're not feeling any pressure into the feet because we're taking the pressure into the shoulders and the core. Let's lower those knees down towards the earth to a hover, keeping the core engaged. And then draw those knees all the way back up. Again, lower both knees down just to a hover. Inhale, lift those knees up. One more, lowering knees down, lifting them back up, flip over one foot and then the other, meeting me in downward facing dog. Good, inhale, lift both heels off the ground. Look down towards your tummy, roll your shoulders over the wrists. A rolling wave. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Drawing your right foot towards your left, take your left leg up to the sky and stack your left hip over the right. Press down through your left armpit. Lift that left knee high, stacking one hip over the other. And then we're going to take a big step with the left foot to the outer edge of the left hand. If it's an option for you, come down onto the wrists, drop your head. You could drop the back knee if you wanted to, and perhaps create a little movement, like massaging the left hip joint. You could, if you're quite low, send the left shoulder underneath the left knee, bring the right arm up and over, right foot finds the ground flat, a little bind. Only if that's for you, otherwise freestyle. Releasing the bind if you've got that. Bring both hands down to the ground. Turn your left toes outwards. Take your right foot to the outer edge of the right hand. Meet me once more in Malasana pose. Option to practice Bakasana, crow, or have a go at firefly, bringing the chest down, swoop the hands underneath the knees, palms find the ground, we sink into the hands. We're going to try and get these legs to the upper arms as much as possible to perhaps lengthen the legs as you lift up, looking forward, or maybe you're having a go at crow pose, Bakasana. Slowly coming down, back to Malasana, wherever you've been. Bring your fingertips down to the earth. Take your hips up to the sky. Heel toe your feet totally together. Bend your knees. Meet me in Utkatasana, chair pose, reaching all the way up. Tummy engaged, knees together. Feet together, Julia. Knees as well. That's it. Sink down a little lower if you can. We're going to swoosh the arms over to the right side as if you are skating. So swoosh the arms to the right side and back up. Swoosh the arms to the left side and back up. Knees stay bent if possible. Swoosh to the right and swoosh to the left. Once more. And to the other side. Reach back up. Taking the arms all the way up. Inhale. Exhale. Glide your arms down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale. Now, if you can bring the palms down to the ground, if that's an option for you, try walking your palms back, maybe past the heels, if that's available to you. Drop your head. Perhaps take your weight a little bit further forward. And exhale. Bringing your hands back just in front of the feet. Step back with your left foot, a big step back. Bring your left knee down to the earth, top of the foot too. Walk your hands back a little bit and extend your right leg, sinking into the hips. Tuck your right toes into the shin to activate this muscle. And I was mentioning yesterday, if you're going into a deep stretch, as long as you can activate the muscle or the hamstring or whatever you're stretching, then you're safe. If you go so deep into a stretch that you cannot activate it, then that's when it becomes perhaps there's more chance of an injury. Walk the hands forward. So when you're here in half splits or full splits, just make sure you can activate the hamstring, turn it on for a moment, for like 3 or 4 seconds, and then release it and go deeply into your stretch. So bring your wrists and elbows down towards the earth if you can. Or another option would be to walk the hands forward as far as they want to go. Lengthen through your spine. Inhale. Exhale. Good. When you're ready, coming forward, we're going to bring the hands to the inner edge of the right foot. Heel toe that right foot to the outer edge of your mat. If it's an option, come down onto your wrists. Tuck your back toes under, lift the back knee off the ground and send that right foot all the way back behind you. Forearm plank, look to the hands, to the tops of the hands. And actually let's take the hands flat onto the ground, opposite your elbows. Pull those elbows back, but don't move them. So we're dragging them back without moving them. Holding for 10, 9, maybe your core is shaking. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Come up onto your hands. A full plank. Shoulders draw forward. Lower your body down. Full chaturanga. Inhale, rise up. Upward facing dog. Lift your quads off the ground for this. And then exhale back to downward facing dog, flipping over your feet. Take your head a little from side to side. Breathe deeply. Maybe walk it through. Make it any movements that feel good for you. Take a big deep breath. Sighing out anything that needs to go. Cross your ankles over for a moment and draw the heels down towards the earth. Dropping the head. Again, another big deep breath. A long exhale. Uncrossing your ankles, feet back to hip width apart. Swoop your right leg up to the sky. Take your right heel towards your hip. Elevate your left heel. Draw your right knee in towards the nose. Inhale, swoop your right leg back up. Take your right knee to your right upper arm. Option to lower down, extend the right leg and lift the left leg off the ground. Bring the left foot down, swoop your right leg back up. Take your right foot, if you can, step it to the outer edge of your left hand. So left knee at the moment is bending over the left ankle. And then we take the right ribs over to the right elbow, bending the elbow. And then seeing if we can take off, lengthening the legs. I know, Nikki, you can do this one. I've seen you do it before. Have a go. Bring your left foot down to the ground. Swoop that right leg back up to the sky. We're going to step the right foot through. In between the hands. Spin and ground your back foot. Inhale, reach both arms all the way up above the shoulders. Reach up and lengthen. Exhale, open the arms, open the heart. Don't worry if some poses don't come. One day they may, one day they may not, depending on your body. The point is that you're practicing, you're here right now in the moment on your mat. Send your right arm forward, send your left arm behind. Peaceful warrior, swooping back, perhaps wrapping your left arm around your back or left hand to graze the back leg. Exhaling back to warrior two. Transitioning to Trikonasana, lengthen your right leg, bring your right hand down to the inner leg, inner ankle, or to the big toe. Look up to the left hand. Breathe deep. Exhale, bend through your left knee. The left arm's going to circle down towards the ground, all the way up and back behind to meet in warrior two. Draw your right arm out to the side, draw your left arm forward. Revolve triangle, bring the left hand forward. We're going to place that hand down to the edge of the right foot. Straighten up the legs if you can. Look up to the right thumb. Breathe deep, don't hold your breath. Use any props you need, any books, any blocks, anything you need. Good. Send your hands down to the ground. And if that thing that you need happens to be a beach in a foreign country, create it in your head. Tuck under your back toes, bend through the right knee, bring both hands down to the earth. We're going to swoop that right leg up to the sky and stack the right hip open. Okay, we're going to take a little back bend. Are you ready? We're going to transition to Wild Thing by bringing the right foot all the way up and over to the left-hand side. Right foot lands, left leg stays long, scanning over the knee and the ankle. Lift up. Find a nice back bend. Lower your left hip down when you're ready. Bring your right hand down to the earth. We're going to transition to pigeon pose, sending the right knee over to your right wrist and flattening the edge of the shin down towards the mat. Well done. Walk your hands back, square your hips, create length in your spine. Breathe in. Exhale, send your belly and chest down towards the earth. Inhale, rise back up, chin draws to the chest. Last thing to rise is the head. Exhale, sinking all the way down and over your front leg. Inhale, rising all the way back up. And then exhale, bring yourself down to the mat. Walk the hands forward, coming onto the head if you can. And lengthen your spine, sink into that right hip, breathing deep. Exhaling. You can either stay there or walk yourself over to the right hand side, just the upper torso, the arms walking over to the right side, a little stretch. Walking the hands over to the left hand side. A little stretch. Again, feel free to take any options that suit you. You might want to bring the hands back to the center, walk them back up, And swoop your left shoulder, like we were doing in heart to earth pose, left shoulder down to the ground, left ear down to the ground, reaching your right arm up to the sky, reaching behind the back and looking to see if you can latch on to your right big toe. If you're miles away, don't worry, just draw your shoulder back, open up. Draw the right ribs up towards the sky perhaps, breathe. Okay. We're gonna just take ourselves out, dazzle ourselves out of this, bringing the hands onto the earth, sinking onto the right sit bone, bring your left leg around, left leg extending forward. Okay, two options, either bring your right sole of your foot into your inner thigh, or send your right foot to the left thigh crease and knee drawing down towards the earth. If your foot is to the inner thigh, you send both arms up and forward fold. If your foot is to the left thigh crease, send your right arm up behind and see if you can feed the foot into the hand. You could also use a strap or just have the hand behind the back. And then we lift one arm up if we're taking this option and fold over. As you inhale, wherever you're at, lengthen your spine, look over the toes. As you exhale, see if you can bring your head down towards your shin. One more breath, breathing in, lengthen. Exhale, folding down as deep as you can. Imagine I'm pushing my hands onto your lower back so that your lower back and belly just draw forward a little bit further, create length, and then fold. Beautiful. Let's rise ourselves back up. Okay, we're going to go for something a little bit adventurous, being as it's Saturday. Let's rock, what we call rocking the baby. Take your right foot into your left crook of your arm, your right arm wrapping around the knee and opening up the right hip. And then when you've had a little rock here, perhaps taking the foot up a little higher, perhaps drawing into the chest, perhaps even giving your foot some love. And let's extend the right leg and give the hamstring a little stretch, drawing that into the chest. Okay, see if you can bring your left hand to the top of the foot, the ball of the foot here. See if you can bend the knee back and slip your right shoulder underneath the right knee. It's not going to be available to everyone, don't worry if it's not there. The right hand is drawing down to the ground, quite wide of the hip, and then we allow the back of the knee to hook over the right shoulder. Left hand finds the ground, left of the left hip. Hooking the left foot over your right ankle, if you're still with me. Lift the hips, send your chest forward, extend your legs out to the side. And then coming back forward, we're going to extend both legs out, coming to Paschimottanasana. Tuck both toes in. Before we go to Paschimottanasana, let's try Dandasana. Hands onto the ground, lift the heels off the ground. Create as much length into your back as you can, lifting up through the core, the chest, heels lifting off the ground, calves activated, toes drawing back. And then dropping those heels, inhale, swoop both arms up. Exhale, reach both arms forward, reaching. Perhaps you have a strap, perhaps you have the hands to the ground, the ankles, or the soles of the feet. Or if you're working a little bit further, a little bit stretchier, you could have a book, a cushion over the sole of the feet and the hands over the top of that book or cushion. Breathing deep. Once more, imagine my hands are on your lower back, pushing you forward, but keeping the backs of your knees down towards the earth if that's an option for you. If you're really tight on the hamstrings, the knees need to be bent, then that's fine too. Okay, bring your right hand now to your left foot. Bring your left arm behind you. Open up, lift that left leg high. We can come to here to do that. And then other side, bringing your left hand to your right foot, right arm drawing behind, lift up, open up through the chest. Breathe deep. Good. Exhale, bring the foot down. Bring the soles of your feet together now. And we're just going to fold over, simple fold over. So bring those soles of the feet in towards your pelvis as much as you can. And then with your elbows, press the hips open by pressing the elbows onto the thighs. Bring the chest forward. Fold down as much as is possible. Again, listen to your body, freestyle wherever you need to. One more breath. All right, let's get back to flowing. So roll yourself up, cross your ankles over, bring your hands in front of you, float or step back into a plank. Lift your right leg off the ground. Lower yourself down, chaturanga. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, back to plank. Okay, take a little press up. Rising up. Left leg off the ground, tucking left toes into the shin. Chaturanga. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, back to plank. Take a press up. And draw yourself to downward facing dog. Rising up and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift both heels off the ground. Exhale, lower them down and walk your feet slightly forward. Take your left hand to your right ankle, look under the right shoulder, up towards the sky if you can, down dog twist. Take one big full breath. And then swap sides for me. Left hand onto the ground, right hand to your left ankle or higher up the leg if you need to, looking under the left shoulder. One big deep breath. And take that right hand down to the earth. Step those feet back. And draw your right foot towards your left. Take your left leg up to the sky. Take your left heel towards your hip. We're going to draw the left knee in towards the nose, engaging the belly, shoulders drawing over the wrists. Inhale, swoop your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, take your left knee to your left upper arm, either holding here or bending the elbows, extending the legs, and maybe lifting off. Right toes find the ground, left toes draw up to the sky. Take your left foot to the outer edge of your right hand. Can you step there? And then is it possible to bring your ribs to the left elbow, left ribs to the left elbow, extend the legs and lift off if possible. Good, well done. Left leg drawing back up to the sky, right foot onto the ground. Step your left foot through in between your hands. Spin and ground your back heel. Meet me in Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Arms draw up to the sky. Hips square. Push that right hip forwards, the left hip back. Bend through your left knee. Create space for your heart, for your lungs. Open up, bringing the arms into cactus. Inhale, bring the arms back up. Exhale, bring your left arm forward, your right arm behind. Are you moving mindfully with every part of your body and mind? Sink back to peaceful warrior, perhaps wrapping the arm around the waist. Right arm around the waist. Left arm drawing back forward, right arm extending behind. Reach forward, bring your left hand down as you straighten the left leg, Trikonasana. Perhaps the two fingers are into the big toe. Perhaps the hand needs to be a little higher up. Take your gaze up to the right thumb, breathe deep. Exhale, bend through your left knee, circle your right arm all the way up and behind to Warrior 2. Let's take it to revolve triangle. Left arm draws to the side, right arm draws forward. Reach forward. Feel free to have a block down to the edge of the left foot if you need, or fingers get placed there, palm gets placed there perhaps. And look up to the left thumb as you bring the chest to the left side. Breathe deep. Legs are straight. Exhale, bring both hands to frame your front foot. Come onto the ball of your back foot, Bend through your front knee. Swoop your left leg up to the sky and stack your left hip over the right. We're going to start to lift the left palm off the ground as we send that left foot all the way over the hip behind us. Transition to wild thing, just opening up. Right leg is long, left knee is bent. And then lower your right hip down. Bring your left hand down to the earth. Transition with me to pigeon pose, sending the left knee to the left wrist. Shin towards the top of the mat. Gliding your right arm, right leg behind. Perhaps sending the left foot forward a little bit if you want to go a little bit deeper. Spinal undulations. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, rising slowly up. Good. Exhale once more, lowering down. Inhale, we rise back up. Exhale now, come all the way down, walking your hands forward, head finding the ground or creating a little nest into your arms. Good, breathe nice and deep. And exhale. Nice modification, Denise. Another big deep breath. And then if you're coming with me, send the arms, the upper torso over to the left-hand side. And send the arms, the hands over to your right-hand side. Lengthen and breathe. And sending the hands back to the top of your mat. And if you'd like to take this variation, heart to earth variation, we bring the left hand underneath the left shoulder, swoop the right shoulder down to the earth, right ear finds the ground, left arm draws up behind the back and finds the left big toe perhaps. A nice big deep breath. A long exhale. Each practice you take builds a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more strength, a little bit more mindfulness. Okay, making your way out. Bring the left hand down to the ground, press up, the right hand down to the ground, sink onto your left sit bone, bring your right leg all the way around. Choose your option, either the left sole of the foot into the thigh or into the thigh crease, the right thigh crease. Remember, you can always hook a strap over the top of the foot and then reach for the strap rather than the foot if you're taking this option. If two legs are forward, two arms come up. If one leg is forward, one arm comes up, same arm. Reach up and then fold. Breathe in, lengthen your spine as much as you can. Exhale, folding safely. Remember, make sure you can switch on the right hamstring that we're stretching here before you fold deeper. Obviously, let go of the activation of the hamstring before you go deeper. You just want to make sure that you can activate it in your stretch so that you're going safely into this stretch. One more breath. Good, now gently, slowly rise up. Okay, taking your left foot into the right crook of the elbow. Left arm wraps around and then rocking the baby. Making sure you're doing, I think we're on the different side, making sure you're on a different side to last time. I don't think we are, you know. Make sure you're, I'm sorry, I cannot remember. No, we are. I had a bit of a moment there. So rocking the baby and then lengthening your left leg, lengthening the back, drawing that left leg in towards the chest, hamstring stretch, and then bending the left knee, feeding your left shoulder underneath and sending the top foot over. Then lowering the body out, we're going to send those legs out to the left side, lifting up, right hip off the ground, legs long. And then bring yourself back down. Okay, well done. We're going to bring the feet parallel in front of you. Bring the hands to the backs of the knees. Create length through your spine. Draw back. Bring your feet off the ground parallel to your knees. Bring your arms either side of the legs. Hold. Squeeze the belly, lengthen your back. Good. Bring your arms over to the right side. Hold. Bring your arms over to the left side. Hold. Bring your arms either side. Either keep it here or reach for the big toes. Lengthen your legs. Draw back. Take the gaze up. Open the feet. Keep the legs long. Heart drawing upwards. Bring the feet back. Bend the elbows. Draw those legs in towards the body. And then release and hold once more. We're going to bend the knees, draw the shoulders back, lower the body down to a hover. Bring your arms behind you if you can. Bring your arms back forward, rise back up, bending your knees. Strong cores. Good, we're nearly finished. Let's lower down, lengthen the legs, hover, look at the toes. Bring your arms behind you and back forward. See if you can stay with me for this last couple of minutes. Good, let's go again. Lengthen your legs. Bring the arms behind you, back forward, rise up. Last one. Exhale, lower down. Arms draw behind, arms draw forward, rising up. Good, just come to a hover before we lay all the way down. Cross your legs. Good, keep the quads activated, the calves activated. Lengthen the back, crossing for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down. Well done. Reset your spine by bringing your arms out like a T. Bring your knees in towards your chest and bring them both over to your right side. Look over your left shoulder and fully relax. And then bring your knees in towards your chest. Take them over to your left side. Look over your right shoulder and fully relax. Come all the way onto your spine. Place your feet down onto the ground. Send your hands either side of your hips. Press your lower spine into the earth. Using your tummy muscles, peel your lower back off the ground. Keep the back of your neck nice and long. Lift all the way up to bridge pose. Perhaps place your thumbs underneath the hips to give yourself a little bit of height. Perhaps walk your feet in towards you. Back of the neck is long. Let's try lifting the right leg off the ground, bending the knee and sending the right heel up to the sky, or even pointing the toe, as long as that leg is activated. Bring your right leg down, placing the foot onto the ground. Bend your left knee, point the leg or flex the foot up to the sky. And then send your left leg down. Send the whole back all the way down to the ground. We're going to go upside down. Again, feel free to freestyle if you want to have legs up the wall, or if you want to take a full wheel pose if you're practicing that at the moment. Otherwise, join me for a plough. Back of the neck stays long. Perhaps the hands support the back, or perhaps we interlace the fingers and pull away. Close your eyes for a moment, making sure, so keep making any adjustments you need to. Perhaps walking the feet a little further forward, coming a little bit further onto the shoulders. Perhaps lengthening the legs, or maybe bending the knees down towards the earth and wrapping your arms around the backs of the knees if you prefer that option. And then bringing your hands to your lower spine, send the legs up to the sky. And just hang out in shoulder pose for me and see if you can practice Ujjayi breath while you're in shoulder stand. So Ujjayi breath, we are constricting the back of the throat as if we're about to whisper. Or you can think of it as fogging a glass mirror. but with the mouth closed. Same thing when you inhale, but mouth closed. Try and take a longer exhale, hushing the body and allowing yourself to be upside down. Really great for the circulation. The heart is upside down too. Ideally, it'd be really nice to be hung from the ceiling and be totally upside down so the spine can lengthen too. But right now we're in shoulders down. We're going to send the right toes down to the ground behind. Left toes draw up to the sky. Right toes draw up, left toes. So switching, left toes draw down behind. Left toes drawing up, the back of the neck stays long. Don't be tempted to look to the side to look at the screen. Keep looking up to the ceiling or up to the feet. Hinge at your hips and bring both toes back behind you into your plow pose. Bring your palms onto the ground and lower yourself down nice and slowly. We're going to go into Shavasana. You can go into Shavasana right now, or you can do a little bit more work with me, taking 3 leg lifts. So lowering the legs down to a hover, heels hovering from the ground. Press the lower spine down to the ground. Strong tummy, lift those legs up. Pointing the toes, legs activated again, legs drawing down, quads activated too, lowering down, hover and hold. And then slowly as you can this time, rising those legs up. And then one last time, going at your own speed, but try and go as slow as you can. All the way back up, somebody's just left us. And then come all the way down to Shavasana. The most important part of the practice. Send your legs out to the corners of your mat. Bring your palms up to the sky. Close your eyes down. Allow your body to fully relax. We're going to stay here just for 1 minute, just so we try and stick to the time as much as we can. But if you want to, if you have the time, then ideally a Shavasana is 5 minutes. So allow the body to fully relax. Take a big full inhale, growing big into the chest. Hold the breath for a moment at the top of your breath. And when you're ready, softly exhale. If you can, pause at the end of your breath. Then fully inhale. A little pause. And exhale. And now just observe, relax. Allow your body to almost melt away into your mat. Notice any sensations you feel, you notice in your body, in your consciousness. Allow your mind to slow down. Going from moving our bodies and being really active, building heat, we now settle everything down like a choppy sea to a still and serene sea. With the sun bearing down on you, warming your skin, your body feeling good as can be. Let's begin to slowly bring the feet together. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, and then bring the arms behind like a lazy Sunday morning, stretching, pointing the toes, and then bring your knees into your chest. Take hold of the tops of the shins, the knees, take a little rock from side to side. And then gently making your way all the way up to seated. Bringing the hands onto the knees, create a long spine. Draw your chin down towards your chest. Take a head roll just to one side. And then draw your chin down towards the chest. Take your opposite ear over to the other side. Good. Stack your head over your heart. Bring the arms up to the sky, inhaling. Bringing your palms together, exhaling, drawing your thumbs past your forehead, past your lips, down to your heart. Thanking you all for practicing together this morning, for showing up. Namaste. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining. Have an amazing weekend. If you want to join us on Sunday, I'll be here. Otherwise, yeah, have a great weekend. Take care.
Thanks, Jess.
Thank you, Jess. That was lovely.